Well, hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our safety and security webinar here for the University of Chicago. My name is Caitlin. We are joining you today here from the College Programming and Orientation Office. And I am the Senior Associate Director for Orientation and Transition in the College Programming and Orientation Office, and I'll be your moderator for the webinar today. Like I mentioned, our webinar today is about safety and security at the University of Chicago. So you'll hear from the Department of Safety and Security and the University of Chicago Campus Police about many of the safety and security initiatives that we have in place here. The majority of the webinar will be a presentation hosted by our Department of Safety and Security and with our Officer Hudson from our University of Chicago Campus Police. And then we'll have a Q&A at the end of the session. So please make sure to submit any questions you may have via the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screens. And we will do our best to go ahead and get through as many questions as possible in either the chat or answer live at the end of the event. So I'm going to go ahead and transition here and pass it over to our presenters today. We have Patrick Roth, the Senior Manager of Safety Communications with the Department of Safety and Security, and Officer Pavel Hudson of our University of Chicago Police Department. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to them.
Hi, thank you so much. So I just wanted to walk you through a couple of things. Uh, First off is just kind of introducing what the Department of Safety and Security does, ways that you can stay informed, some resources that we have for your safety, and some steps that you can do to keep yourself safe while you're on campus and in and around the Hyde Park community. So the Department of Safety and Security has a couple of divisions. The most visible ones are probably related to campus safety, which is the security systems, our safety ambassadors. There's also the University of Chicago Police Department and our Transportation and Parking Division. Some other divisions plan for emergencies and coordinate with other local agencies that include the Office Department of Emergency Planning and Environmental Health and Safety, which is stuff that does a lot of stuff related to labs and that sort of stuff. So I want to go over a couple of ways that you can stay informed. UChicago Safe is the social media platforms that we run. We are on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and we bring the University of Chicago community the latest information to help them stay safe. And that can range from timely notifications to information about road closures and transportation updates. If there's going to be something, that's a weather event that we can know about ahead of time, we want to let you know of, or as it breaks, we will be posting about that on our safety and security on our channels on social media. And if you ever have a question about anything too, I run these accounts so you can reach out to us there, particularly on Instagram, and we'll try to get to the responses as quickly as possible. Here's some QR codes for how you can follow us. I'll give you a second to scan those if you'd like. So I want to go over some of the other safety communications that we have. The biggest is what we call C alerts. And these are emergency notifications that would require immediate action. The best example of these actually would be something like a tornado warning, or if there's a blizzard coming and it's going to wind up canceling classes. We would send that out via C alert, and there's a couple of different ways that you can get them. If you've downloaded the UChicago Safe app, we will send a push notification on the app letting you know about the C alert. Students are automatically registered to receive C alerts. So you would get a push notification on the app if you have it. You would get a text message. You would also get an email about the C alert. One of the things that you should do is you should go on the website that's listed there, calert.uchicago.edu, to make sure that all the information is correct. So like if you've changed phone numbers or anything, you're going to want to make sure that you have the correct phone number in there to receive a C alert. However, anyone can sign up to receive a C alert through text messages, and you can do that by texting C alert to 226787. The other option is security messages. Excuse me, security alerts, and these are about significant crimes that happen either on campus or immediately adjacent to campus, and they're crimes that are considered to be a continued threat. There's no action that's required on your part when you receive these. These are just for your understanding. These would be sent via email to anybody who has a UChicago email address, but you can also sign up to receive one by scanning the QR code, and it would go directly to your inbox. We also post these on our news and alerts channel on the DSS website, and we also share them on the UChicago Safe social media channels. And if you go on the DSS website, you can actually go back and see the archive of every security alert that we've sent out since 2019. We also have UCPD crime notices, which is a way to receive alerts about certain violent crimes that happen off campus, but within the extended patrol area for the University of Chicago Police Department, and that are reported to the University of Chicago Police Department. These consist of certain crimes, including homicides, confirmed shootings of persons, and patterns of robberies. This is important because a pattern is defined as three or more incidents of a crime with characteristics that suggest they may be related. These crime notifications are sent via push alert to anyone with the UChicago Safe app, but we also post them to our social media channels and on the DSS News and Alerts page. One thing that I do want to highlight about this is that the UCPD Extended Patrol Area is very big. So one of the things that we include when we post these on social media is we include a map that shows where it happened and its relationship to the campus area, because sometimes they can happen like, 3 miles away from campus. We also send out a UCPD Daily Crime Bulletin. These covers types of crimes that include homicides, criminal sexual assaults, robberies, aggravated batteries, and residential burglaries that are classified as home invasions. These are opt-in, so you actually have to sign up to receive a crime bulletin. They are sent Monday through Friday, with the exceptions of holidays. On holidays, they'd be sent the Monday after the holiday. Um, and we have an archive that actually you can go back and check out the every daily crime bulletin we've sent out since 2020. You can sign up to receive these by scanning the QR code there if you want to sign up to receive them. I'll give you a few minutes to do that. Additionally, as if that's not enough, we have a crime and fire log. And so this would be posted Monday through Friday, except for holidays. And it's every incident that's reported over the previous 24 hours. The weekends would go from the Monday before. If you're like me, I used to be a reporter before I had this job. So anytime I would see flashing lights, I kind of wanted to know what was going on. So this is a way that you can see it. And you'll frequently see it's the sort of thing where it's like, stop the car for speeding, some things like liquor law violations, all that stuff is listed there. So if you're really interested in what UCPD is doing, we provide that information too. Every year, we post our annual safety report that goes up online. It goes up online on the DSS website, and we also send an email out to everybody with the UChicago email address, letting you know that it's available and you can click it. It has information about policies and procedures, resources and services that we offer, along with some of the crime statistics for what's going on in our campus and tips for staying safe. So I want to go over some resources that we offer as well. The biggest and most important is the UChicago Safe app. It's a quick and easy way to get safety information at the tap of a button. This is the sort of thing that enables you for push notifications in the event of an emergency on campus or daily crime warnings. It's got information for the transportation resources we offer. Also, a quick way that you can call UCPD or the Chicago Police Department with just the push of a button. There's a feature called a friend walk, which is if you're going to be walking around campus or anywhere really late at night, you want to let somebody know where you're going. It kind of lets you track their progress so they can make sure that you get to where you're going safely. The other thing it has is a mobile blue light. So if you're ever feeling unsafe for whatever reason, you can just push that and UCPD will come find you as you're walking through the UCPD Extended Patrol area. And they can even follow you to make sure you're getting to where you want to go. It's available on Android and Apple. And here are some QR codes that you can use to scan those to download the app if you haven't already. I'll give you just a couple of seconds to scan those. Okay. The other biggest thing that we offer is transportation. We have shuttles, buses, and rides sparked by VIA, which are available to all students. UGO shuttles are free. They run every day and around campus. They run until midnight. It's a great way to get around. They not only go in and around campus in Hyde Park, but we also have a downtown campus connector, which connects to our campus downtown and makes some stops in around downtown Chicago, like train stations, both for Metra and CTA. CTA buses are also help serve campus. Students do get a U pass that they can use, which gives free access to the CTA. You can track shuttles and buses on the Passio Go app. We also have partnership with City Mapper, which is another application you can download, and that'll give you all the transportation resources, including things like divvy bikes and those little scooters that you can use to get around. Um, Via is the most popular thing I think that we offer, especially for getting around at night. It's a rideshare partner that is only available to Chicago students. You guys will have unlimited free rides in shared vans within the service area from 5 p.m. to 4 a.m., 7 days a week. And if you go on the DSS website, we have a map that shows the service area. It's pretty much for area around campus and Hyde Park. Campus safety ambassadors are also a very visible thing. They are assigned to locations throughout campus and in and around Hyde Park. If it's the sort of thing, especially as you guys are getting to know the campus area, you can ask them where stuff is. They're highly visible, so you can identify who they are. And they also help out with UCPD. So if they see a crime happening in progress, they can call the UCPD and report it to them right away. And I'm going to turn it over to Officer Hudson, who can give a little bit of update about what the University of Chicago Police Department does.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Officer Hudson, and I'm with the University of Chicago Police Department. So here we are, fully staffed and certified state of Illinois. We're CALIA accredited, and we have different services that we offer from patrol, investigations, community relations, public athletic league. So we're in the YMCA's that's close by. We have school resource officers. We also have witness and victim services available to you. So our patrol area is pretty large, as Patrick noticed. We cover from 37 to 64th, Cottage Grove to Lakeshore Drive. So we help with safety escorts. We also help with investigations. We are in a jurisdiction that's close with CPD, so they work hand in hand with us as well. The neighbor. So we partnership with the UChicago Help. The university systems are collaborative and geared towards student success. From the campus and student life, college deans, equal opportunity programs, and student wellness. We have Dean on Call programs, student case management, bias education, and support teams. We do well-being checks as well as behavior intervention teams. So the Dean on Call is open 24/7, 7 days of the week. They partner with us. We can help with connecting you to any type of resources, any after a traumatic incident. We connect students with possible housing or legal assistance, connect students with academic resources, as well as help monitor and respond to any protests. The way to contact them is 773-702-8181, and you'll just contact for a Dean on Call. So, in case of a mental health emergency, if you're concerned about yourself or anyone that may be experiencing a mental health crisis, it is okay to call for help. You may save a life. So, we work hand in hand with also the Chicago Police Department. We are CIT certified, so we are crisis intervention. We know how to intervene and de-escalate situations. We understand symptoms and signs of mental illness that may be occurring in disorders, and as well as recognizing when those signs present a crisis. If you see someone or you may be experiencing any of those, you want to just give us a call at 773-702-8181. And then you just want to mention and clearly state what the crisis is and note that it is a mental health issue. And then also a Dean on Call will be contacted. So how do you contact us? So the U Chicago Safe app is a great tool to have. It's a great resource to have. You can connect directly to UCPD as well as Chicago Police Department. You can request a safety escort to make sure that you get home safely. We also offer umbrella coverages so we can walk with you. Those blue lights that you'll see on throughout campus, we know the exact location of every blue light that we have, so we'll be able to respond to you even if you don't know exactly where you are. The Chicago Safe app, you can also report any crime that you may see or any tips, and it's right at the fingertips. So if you have an Android or an iPhone, you can download that UChicago Safe app. That is a great tool to have. Our emergency lights, the blue lights. We have over 300 of them on campus. On and around campus, they're equipped with cameras, so we're able to see exactly where you are. You can communicate directly with our dispatch at UCPD, and if you request an emergency escort, if you need help with directions, we'll be able to assist you. Our address is 850 East 61st Street. You can email us if you have any tips or any concerns or anything. You can email us at cops@uchicago.edu. You can also contact us for a non-emergency through that same number. If you're on campus, you can use the campus phone. It'll be 123. If you dial 911, you will get the city response. So it might take a while for them to transfer the call over to us. So you want to make sure that you give us a call. The red button on the e-phones go directly to us, our dispatcher, so we'll be able to locate you. And again, that UChicago Safe app is a great app to utilize so you can contact us directly. Some safety tips and engagement and other ways to stay safe. So you want to make sure that you are aware of your surroundings. Make sure that you are not distracted by your phone or having your headphones up extremely loud or you're unable to hear anyone behind you or emergency vehicle services. If you see anything suspicious and you're not quite sure what's going on, you want to make sure that you give us a call at UCPD. You want to make sure you trust your NCs. If you feel uncomfortable, say something. We can help and we can escort you to your destination. If you see someone suspicious, we can come out and communicate with them. Know your route ahead of time. If you're able, try to get a map of knowing where you're going. The UChicago Safe app also has a map on there, so you can try to plan out your trip ahead. When you're leaving your belongings, do not leave your belongings unattended. Make sure that you keep your valuables out of sight. Make sure that everything is put away and that if you want to, you have a bike, you can make sure that you use a lock. We also register bikes and laptops here at the department. So you can come in at any time between the hours of 8 and 4, Monday through Friday, to register those items. Again, your safety is priority. If someone tries to rob you, make sure that you do not fight them and that you contact 911 when you're a safe place. How to engage with us. Again, it is 773-702-8181. You can report suspicious activity. You can use the transportation with the UChicago Safe app so you can plan your route. Request a safety escort by one of our officers. If you are buying something and you're not sure a safe place to do so, you can also do that in our lobby. You can engage with our community relations unit, which would be 773-702-6008, where you register your bike, request a safety presentation for your group, as well as take advantage of our free fingerprinting services. So, any questions?
All right. Thank you both so much, Officer Hudson and Patrick. Questions, again, just a reminder that we do have the Q&A feature that is on currently, so you can absolutely submit any questions that you may have through that Q&A feature. We do have some frequently asked questions that I would love to go through with you all, just to see if this helps spark any questions for any of the other attendees. Some questions that we've received in previous years, or some frequently asked questions we receive from students and parents. The first question would be that sometimes people might hear that there are unsafe areas around campus. So, what advice would you give to these people about navigating Hyde Park and the surrounding communities?
So, Officer Hudson, you want to go?
Oh. So, just like any big city, we are have a nice broad area. So just want to be mindful that if you're traveling at night, that you stay on a well-lit street. That way you have access to other passerbyers that may be walking through. Again, just keeping those valuables close to you and safe and knowing your route of where you're going. It's good to let someone know also where you're going to kind of have that someone in safety in the background. Again, we are traveling throughout the campus area and our pretty large jurisdiction. So you can either contact us or the safety ambassador, but it is a really pretty place to go.
Yeah, I just want to add on to that. This is the sort of thing that I've grown up on the South Side, lived almost my entire life on the South Side. And the joke that I would make in previous years is that the worst thing that's happened to me is I'm a White Sox fan, but we're in first place this year. So that's a good thing for me. But to Officer Hudson's point, this is one of the if you look just by stats, Hyde Park and the area around the university campus is one of the safer areas in the city of Chicago. But this is a great city anywhere, but it's a big city, and like anywhere on earth, anything can happen at any time. But I always encourage people to go out and explore. This is an awesome city to live in, and there's so many cool things that you could do. So, take advantage of that opportunity while you guys are here.
Awesome. Thank you both. A question that we had come in, could you clarify if your blue light towers with cameras are continuously monitoring campus?
My understanding is that it's not the sort of thing where like we have somebody there like Big Brother in 1984 constantly watching, but if you press that button, there's a way that it would go to the dispatch center and they can take a look at what's going on. Sometimes, by the way, people have like accidentally you're waiting for a bus and you stumble across on the button and there's a way that they can talk to you, like, say, is everything okay? And you can say, oops, sorry, didn't mean to do that.
Yes. So if you hit the button, we're able to hear you and answer any questions that you may have again, but we can also have an officer come by and check on that request for that button.
Perfect. Thank you both. Another question, what transportation options are available to students? I know we did go over that, but could you explain more about the VIA rideshare program and how it works?
Yeah, so VIA is an option that is available to all UChicago students starting at 5 p.m. until I believe 4 a.m. Uh, it actually might be from 4 p.m. until 5 a.m. I can go back and check, but it is essentially it's a little bit like Lyft, where except you might have to share a ride with somebody. They're generally marked vans. Sometimes they're um, darker like black SUVs that have like a U Chicago sticker on them that work in the campus area, and it can take you from point A to point B. Sometimes it'll be the sort of thing where it might not drop you off like exactly at your door. It might be the sort of thing where it'll drop you off at the front door of the dorm you're trying to go to or wherever it is you're trying to go. The thing is, you might wind up, depending on how many people are asking for it, you might wind up sharing a ride with a couple of other people who are going to places along your route.
Yeah. And if you're utilizing those rides, want to make sure that you are checking the back seat before you exit to make sure you have all your belongings with you,
Yeah,
just so you know if someone gets in behind you and if you might lose something. And the point that you do lose something, they will turn it in. 9 times out of 10, they
yeah.
turn it in and we have it here. You just check in with our loss.
Excellent point. Yes, definitely don't want to forget something in the back seat of a car or anything like that. Another question for you both. Do many students bring their cars to campus, and is parking available for new students?
I generally don't believe most students bring their cars to campus. Parking is not available for first year students. However, in second, third, and if you come here for grad school, you could request a parking spot.
Great. And do students have swipe cards to get into the residence halls and other campus buildings? Do most residence halls have old-fashioned keys?
That's a great question. I believe your UChicago ID actually serves as the swipe card. I don't know whether or not they have old-fashioned keys. I would imagine like they have keys in the event that like people lose power, and that wouldn't work. But generally, your ID is the thing that gives you access to the residence halls.
Yes, and to follow up with that, yes, you wouldn't receive a old-fashioned key, you would receive it is swipe card access. Another question, what self-protection devices are students allowed to possess on campus? For example, things like pepper spray, things of that nature.
So you can have mace as long as it's not bear mace. So we want to make sure that it is just for protection. But again, if you see anything, if you feel that you are in this unsafe space, you just want to give us a call immediately and we'll come and respond. But you want to get to a safe place so your key card can access certain buildings that you're able to go in and call for help.
And bears are not a problem in the city of Chicago. You don't need to bring bear mace.
Another follow-up question to our question about the Via Rideshare app was how do you call or schedule a Via ride?
So when you have your UChicago email address, you can download the Via app, and you would be able to book rides through the app.
Perfect. Another question that we have here is related back again to our blue lights on campus. Are there areas that are monitored routinely by camera or security officers um, checking for pedestrian traffic? I believe is what the question is asking. There's any highly like monitored cameras that have high pedestrian traffic, I guess that security officers are monitoring on a regular basis.
So during high pedestrian traffic hours, we do have safety ambassadors that will be at the blue lights, but we also have officers that do pedestrian safety missions. So when we know that it's a high traffic area, we kind of come to that area and kind of monitor it. You have an officer on foot that will kind of walk the area.
Sure. And the security on campus as well as around the perimeter um,
Mhm.
in their yellow vests as well.
Yeah.
So typically we'll see one of the security officers as well. Let's see here. Another question. Coming from the West Coast, what type of clothing or gear would you recommend for the different seasons for safety?
Uh, every type of gear all the time. The weather here is all right. I don't, if you're coming from the West Coast, I don't want to like oversell it and make it seem like it's Antarctica because it's not that. But you're going to need a thick coat. You might need it sooner than you think. It's not totally uncommon for us to get snow around Halloween. Um, but the very next week it could be 80 degrees and sunny. So I would make sure that for safety purposes, you're really going to want to make sure that you have a nice thick waterproof coat that can get you through the winter. Probably another type of lighter waterproof coat for like those rainy days where it's not like freezing but it's cold. um, and then spring and summer are just absolutely beautiful here, so hopefully you won't need any coat of any type. Also, make sure you bring gloves. That's something that when I was a younger person, I didn't bring gloves as often as I should.
Yes, gloves definitely come in handy.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you can also you want to have those waterproof gloves so you can pick up and throw a snowball at somebody. It's really the way to go.
Take advantage of that weather. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our Q&A is still open, so if there are still questions that you would like to ask, please feel free to go ahead and put those in the chat as we continue on here. I know another question that was answered in the chat, but if you wouldn't mind also just kind of answering it here as well. In terms of um, transportation from the university or resources to help students get to and from the airport around holiday breaks, if that's something that is offered by the university or resources we can direct students to.
Yeah, so we don't offer like door-to-door access, but to get to O'Hare and Midway, the CTA is a great option. So there are buses that you can take. Like if you take the 55 bus, that'll take you pretty much all the way from campus to Midway. And I'm going to let you guys in on a secret. Midway is the better airport of the two because it's just a little more convenient. to stuff. That's a state secret though, so keep that under. Don't go telling everybody about that. But if you're flying from O'Hare, you can get to that through the blue line. The red line is the closest L. Well, there's the red line and the green line, and you can connect to both. Uh, so both of those will offer connections to the blue line to get you to O'Hare, and we have U-Go shuttles that stop at both the red and green line.
Great. Another question we had come in here. What are the most common crimes of opportunity that students should be aware of?
I don't know that off the top, and this is the sort of thing where you start getting into like what are like crime statistics that can get I can get a little out of my depth. I think probably the most common would actually be like burglary, where people just like pick up something that someone left behind.
Yeah,
Um,
mislaid items.
yeah, uh, I know there's frequently concern about robberies, which is more like someone kind of comes up and says like, "Hey, give me that." I do just want to say that we last year we set a record for the fewest amount of robberies in the area of the University of Chicago Police Department patrols in like the 50-year history. So that's been going down steadily the past few years, and I think that we actually might be on pace to beat it this year. Knock on wood. But that I don't want to
Yeah.
get too far in front of my skis about that
Yeah.
because that gets into like what are true crime statistics, and that's measured a very specific way by UCPD.
Sure. Yeah, I would also agree with Officer Hudson and Patrick that crime of opportunity, really theft, leaving, even if you're just getting up from a chair to go to the restroom to study,
Mhm.
you just want, again, being aware of your surroundings, making sure you're not leaving your belongings or expensive things out, right?
Yeah.
For someone to be able to just grab and walk away. Definitely important to just be aware of where you are. And if you do have to use the restroom or leave for a moment, maybe asking somebody, next to you to watch your things for a moment. That could be helpful as well. Another question that we had come in here, and I'm not sure if you can answer this specifically, or if there's just a good like roundabout, like some good advice overall. But are there any streets that around campus that are not recommended that students go through at night for safety? Um, or any other like general advice in terms of, I guess, if there's I think what they're trying to ask if there's any places that should be avoided or, yeah, I guess places that maybe not recommended is what the question asks.
So throughout our campus, we are patrolling 24/7. Along with us, we also have those safety ambassadors. They have vehicles as well. They have like a green light that would kind of shine throughout the area. So I wouldn't avoid any area because you're gonna have the way to travel. I just encourage you to walk on well-lit streets and not like down an alley and it's probably 2 a.m. in the morning. We do patrol through alleys up and down the street. So we are pretty visible, so just making sure that you again know your route that you're going to take, and then also switch it up. Don't also necessarily take the same route every single day. Kind of get to know your area.
Actually, that's what I would add to just getting to know the area, walking around campus. It's one of my favorite things to do at lunchtime, just kind of meandering around, and figuring out. I mean, there's a lot of like really cool old buildings too that you can scope out and see. So it's a really and this not just the area on campus, but the city of Chicago is a really cool place to explore.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Another question, and again, this might be getting a little into some crime statistics that you might not have the access to at this moment. Um, but we have someone that mentioned that they looked at a map around the area of the school. Appeared that the west and south of campus had more crime than north and east of campus. Based on your experience, is that accurate? Or is there any other information you can share about that?
One thing I do want to share real quick is we actually have quarterly crime reports that go out. Like, so it breaks down the entire UCPD Extended Patrol area. And if you go on the DSS website, uh, click on there's an information about uh, I believe it's information about crime statistics. You can see get those quarterly crime reports, and it'll break down the area where what kind of crimes we're seeing, if there's an increase or decrease. Um, as to the specifics, that was it north and west of the campus that they were saying primarily?
Um, Appeared that west and south of campus had more crime than north and east of campus, and they were wondering if that
Okay.
was accurate.
Again, I don't know that off the top of my head, but if you go on the safety and security uchicago.edu would be able to give you the access to those quarterly crime reports. And we also share those on UChicago Safe when they're published.
Great, perfect, thank you. Another question we had come in, does each residence hall have a lockable drawer or cabinet, or would you advise the student bring a lockbox?
I believe that they're all like it's not like just open where anybody can walk in.
Mhm.
Um, but I think that is ultimately up to the students' comfort. I mean, like you might want to have certain things locked away. Like I have a bunch of White Sox tickets from historic games that I keep under lock and key currently.
Yes, and I know Lauren's also typing an answer to that as well.
Okay.
So we definitely, obviously you have to have a key or your swipe card access to get into your building and then also into your own room, right? So those are two security measures there. And like I mentioned, Lauren here is typing an answer for that question. I don't believe that the residence halls have a lockable like drawer or anything like that on your desk. So if there is some belongings that you would like to keep under lock and key, maybe bringing a small lock box wouldn't be a bad idea. Let's see. Any other questions are rolling in here? Um, Give everyone a few moments if there's any other questions that you have for both Patrick or Officer Hudson. I'm happy to answer them here. Definitely appreciate everybody taking the time today to join us for our safety and security webinar. Is there, let's see, we have another question that came in. Um, can you talk a little bit maybe about the experience of students who live off campus? Um, Again, as it regards to anything different in terms of like crime rates or things like that?
I generally, again, they would be covered by the unless you're living like way off campus. But I mean, some people do choose to live downtown or something, which you would be outside of the University of Chicago Police Department's extended patrol area. If you're living in and around Hyde Park, you're generally in that sort of campus adjacent area that's covered by the University of Chicago Police Department and their patrol and all that.
Yes, we have a pretty large jurisdiction. So you will see us, you will see Chicago Police Department, but we cover pretty far up north from the campus area and
Yeah.
overlay.
Yeah, the map that was provided during the presentation, shows the patrol area and like Officer Hudson and Patrick mentioned, their patrol area is, there we go, quite large, as you can see. So extends quite far north, and then also south of campus. So if you are living off campus or you do eventually decide to live off campus, you're probably going to be living within the residential area of Hyde Park, I would imagine. And so as you can see, the coverage is definitely very large in that area. So you would still probably see that presence of UCPD in the neighborhood. Not a question. Okay. Let's see. Again, any other questions that want to roll in, please feel free to type those in the Q&A. Again, we're happy to answer those questions for you. While we're kind of maybe waiting for some last moment questions, Officer Hudson and Patrick, would you like to share a little bit about what you enjoy working, why you enjoy working at UChicago, or what brings you, continuing to come back to campus year after year?
Um, that's a really good question. I think one of my favorite things is I it is a cool area to work around and to see and just kind of like wander around campus. Um, that's one of my favorite things. I mean, the people that I work with, I really enjoy. I think I mentioned that I used to be a reporter, so it does kind of provide a reporting element to it, like in the work that I'm doing. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'd say that it's the area and also the people that I work with. Everyone here has been very, very friendly and kind. And coming from newsrooms, that was not always the case.
I would say the same. I love meeting new people and people from all over in different walks of life. I like going into the small businesses that they have in the area and kind of interacting with them as well as the schools that we have. Prior to this, I was working at a school, so it's kind of like work hand in hand, of kind of getting that teacher feel and the student feels. And then I like that the collaboration that we have as well as with the students. Um, it's never a dull moment. We have so many questions. If it's playing a game of soccer on a nice day, I'm glad to have that opportunity to kind of connect.
And
Absolutely.
can I add one more thing real quick? This is I mentioned this growing up on the South Side. The reputation that the South Side of Chicago has is completely undeserved. And I think that the opportunity that I have to, in something like this, to correct that misapprehension that people have, I really enjoy taking.
That's great. Thank you. Yeah. One last question that came in here was could you repeat the number to text for the C alerts?
Yes, it is 226-787, and you can just text C alert to that. And that will send you text messages for C alerts that the University of Chicago sends out. Might be a little bit easier to just download the UChicago Safe app too, because you don't need to be a student to have access to that.
Perfect. Let's see. Okay. I think so far, as of right now, those are all the questions that we've received. Again, I'll go ahead and wait just another moment here. If there's any other questions anybody wants to submit, we do have a few minutes left here with both Patrick and Officer Hudson. So again, happy to answer any other questions that you may have. Um, no question is a stupid question. We're happy to answer, anything that you might want to know. Again, regarding safety and security here at the University of Chicago. I will echo both what Patrick and Officer Hudson said. Everyone on campus is very friendly. It's a wonderful area. Just so much. If you enjoy nature as well, just so many, trees and flowers and different plants and things like that around campus. So definitely a very beautiful area. And I definitely feel lucky to be able to come to campus every day and work here. And again, if you have other questions that maybe weren't answered here, or maybe you would feel more comfortable, sending a message in the chat. Patrick did go ahead and link the Stay Informed page, as well as information about the C alerts and where to sign up for security alerts. Patrick, would you mind putting the contact information for the office as well in the chat, just in case folks want to go ahead and capture that information?
Sure. Let me actually just, if I can pull up the slide.
Sure.
There you go.
Perfect. So again, the email, very simple, cops@uchicago.edu. And then again, their non-emergency line. Would highly recommend students to program that into your phone so that you have that available at all times. And then again, the emergency number is also listed there as well. But if there are no other questions, it looks like again our Q&A has slowed here. If there are no other questions, we definitely appreciate you taking some time today to join us for our safety and security webinar. Thank you again to our presenters and again everyone who gave up some time today to attend. Please make sure to visit the orientation website at orientation.uchicago.edu to learn more about our upcoming webinars and also find the link to this recording. This recording, as well as a few others, will be uploaded next week. So if you are wanting to go back to this webinar or any other webinar that has been done this summer, again, you can find that on our website, which is again orientation.uchicago.edu. So let me just check and make sure there are no other questions. Oh, looks like we did have another one roll in. Oh, just says thank you. You are welcome. Thank you all for everything. But everybody have a great rest of your day, and we look forward to seeing you on campus here in about almost little less than 2 months for move-in and orientation week. So we look forward to seeing you all. Have a great day.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.